Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Sun City in Arizona. Hope you're having a super fantastic, sparkling Serenity Sunday. How was your Serenity Sunday? What cool stuff did you get up to today so that you could have a day of ah? It very much was a day of here in the house, in the house, in Sparkles, and home at home here in Sparkles. That's what we wanted to say. It's definitely a day of aha. Um, we like I said in this morning's one, we were going to do the groceries and they should be delivered like around 12, and then I do the genealogy and history. Well, groceries were delivered and packed, delivered and put away before 11 a.m. Yeah, the person doing the Instacart today, they were on it. um, and there was only one um, replacement they had to make. There was one product that was out of stock, so they were able to replace it with the other product that I had said. If this one's out of stock, replace it with this one. To be honest, I couldn't see the difference between the products, but obviously there was if they had them. I think, yeah. But like they got everything else, and by 11 o'clock, I looked up at the clock and I thought, oh, it must be about lunchtime now. And I looked at the clock and it was before 11 o'clock, and I'm like looking around going, groceries ordered, delivered, and away. Yes! I love when that happens. And so then I was like, well, what am I going to do for, I've got an hour and a quarter before I have to be on to do genealogy and history. And so I just bummed around for a bit and sat and read for a bit and played with Zeffie for a bit. We did some training today, teaching her to do left circle, well, yeah, left circle, hang on, her way, left circles her way. She likes going, she will go to the left very easily, but the right she has a little trouble with. So if I wanted to turn in circles, if I get her to turn left, she will just go round. She'll just follow the tree round and around and around in a circle. If I get her to go right, she can't seem to get her body to turn as easily as she does as if she's turning to the left. So it's very interesting. My dog is a lefty. Southpaw. It's been very windy here today too. It's gotten up to 23 miles an hour with the wind, so we had to pull the awning in. Thankfully, the sun was already on the back of the RV, so the side of the RV here, where the door and stuff is still in the shade, so that was good. And then after doing genealogy and history, then had lunch, and I was like, I feel like taking a nap. So I went and napped. It was probably around 12:30, quarter to 1 when I went to take a nap, and I woke up and it was 3:43. Obviously, I needed it. I woke up this morning feeling an itch in the throat and everything else, and so I have been drinking my green tea with lemon and honey like crazy, drinking a lot of water like crazy, over ODing on vitamin C. Not that you really can because it's water soluble; it just goes through the system. But whenever I get that tickle coming, it's just OD on vitamin C is my method. It works for me. And so I did that, and then I went and took this really nice long 2 hour and 2 and a bit hour nap, um, and woke up and felt really good. Oh, I started watching Half a Sixpence. That was the other thing I did. And so I got up from that and watched, before I went to take a nap, I started watching the movie Half a Sixpence. This is, if you remember back a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about Half a Sixpence, about how I saw it on stage with one of my favorite stage actors. It was when I saw in 1978. They have a film version of it that was done in the 1960s, and it had Tommy Steele playing Arthur Kipps. And but it was really cool. It was good to go through to hear the songs again because I loved the music that was in that musical. And but it was the same tune, the same words, but done at a slightly different tempo, and it was slightly different to what I remembered. But I was surprised at how many of the words I actually remembered and sung along with. It was pretty cool. It's like, wow, I haven't seen this musical since 1978, and I was still able to sing along with most of the music. There was a couple of songs in there I thought, don't recall that song, don't recall this scene. So it could be that it was a movie version of the stage place they put that scene in there. I don't know. But most of it was pretty cool to sit there. And that's when I started dozing off while watching it. That's when I went to take my nap. That's right, 'cause I started watching it while I was having lunch. And so then after nap time came out and watched the rest of it. We just finished watching it. And Zeffie's sort of like, she comes over to me and she sits down next to me. And I reach over and give her a scratch on the head. And then she goes, And I go, what? And then I look at the time and it said 17:43, and I was sort of like, oh, there's something about 43 today. 3:43 is when I woke up. 5:43 was when I saw what the time was, and I was like, oh, I guess you want something then. And with that, she backs up, takes a deep breath, and and starts barking and howling at the same time. It's hilarious when she does that. So it has been a very nice, relaxing day today. I love these sorts of days because I get to unplug. I don't look at my emails. Although my mum did send me a text saying, because I sent the information about this car that I'm looking at to mum and dad. And dad's had a good look at the pictures, and mum said, your dad's had a good look at the pictures of the car that you sent over, and he has some comments. We sent it to you in an email. So then I had to go find the email and read that. So that's it. And I was sort of like, I opened up my email to find my parents' one, and there was this huge slew of emails there, and I was sort of like, oh, I really should have waited till tomorrow. But those other emails are waiting until tomorrow. I just got the one with my parents. I read that and turned the email off.
It's 18 hours.
Why, thank you very much. It's 18 hours. It's 6 p.m. So I know there's going to be a huge swag of emails waiting for me to go through tomorrow morning. And that's basically my to-do list for this one client. There's emails there from one client, and I saw a number of them in there. So I thought, well, there's my to-do list for tomorrow. It is go through the emails again, because every morning when I go in to do some work for this particular client, it's not wondering, oh, I'll put that off till tomorrow. No, I get everything done today that I can get done. I snooze emails so that they, especially if it's sort of like, okay, I've responded to that email, I need to wait for them to reply. So I'm going to put it out for a couple of days and then come back to see if they've replied to it. Or if it's something I can't do that day, but I know what day I can do it, then I will snooze it to that day so it pops back up. And then my to-do list is starting with the oldest email, working my way through to the newest email. And so there's going to be a lot of emails going back tomorrow with questions and stuff probably. But, that's one way that I work with that client, because they send me everything they need me to do in an email. And so it's just making sure that I get that stuff done, and then I can reply to the email telling her that things are done, or asking clarifying questions and that sort of thing. So I guess I'm going to be a busy girl tomorrow morning. And I've yet to set up my planner for the week. I sort of like sat down and I looked over my planner sitting there, and I'm like, oh yeah, I've done that. And one thing I went to do today, because for some reason I only remember to do it on a Sunday, and if it is in my planner to do during the week, I literally run out of time to do this. So it's a big thing on my list to do, is to get my extended warranty stuff sorted out for Sparkles, because I have to do it before tomorrow. No, tomorrow's the last day I think I can do it. It's either tomorrow or Tuesday, so I have to do it tomorrow morning. And of course, all the hours are Mountain Time. They're only open Monday through Saturday, and I keep forgetting that. And every time I go to call them to update the payment information, it's a Sunday, because my weeks are just slammed right now. And I'm like looking at my weeks, going, hang on. We chose this lifestyle to make things a little more relaxed and everything else, and I find myself slammed. And so I'm sort of like, okay, we're slammed between 8 and 5, and then after that, it's my time. And so we're going to be taking a closer look at not reducing the hours. I don't mind doing the 8 to 5 thing. It's going to be, what do I do after 5 o'clock? And so I'm going to be a little more conscious of my time after 5 o'clock. And I'm going to be a little more stingy with my weekends, because I like my me time and things too. So, but I'm here for 3 weeks, and one thing I am going to be doing over the next week, of course, is getting a car, putting a towable on the back, but planning my trip where I'm going to go in 3 weeks' time, because I promised Mailbox Power that I was going to come up and see the head office in May. Well, June, I told them originally. And so I need to start planning my route up there to see them and get that taken care of, because I really want to go up there and meet people in person that I've only met via Zoom or via phone, so actually get to physically stand in the room and go hi. Which is another reason that it's important that I get a vehicle, because I need to get from wherever the campsite closest to the office is to the office. So yeah, we're definitely looking for the vehicle, and then getting it all hooked up with the tow equipment and everything else, figuring out how to tow with this thing. Yeah, so we've got a busy 3 weeks coming up, and I've got a couple of maintenance things to do on the thing. I still haven't done my little light. It's just too hot. Unless I go out on like a Saturday morning and do it first thing in the morning, like get up early, go take Zeffy for a walk, come back and fix it. That's probably what I'm going to end up doing. I'll start on the driver's side, because that'll be in the shade, and then move over to the passenger side once the sun has moved a little bit. But yeah, I'm going to be keeping a close eye on the temperatures and things because it's getting close to 3 figures. The guy when he was parking yesterday says, "Oh, so how long are you with us?" I go, 3 weeks. He goes, "Oh," he says, "you got here at the perfect time before it starts getting hot." And I'm like thinking, it's 100 degrees here today, and you're calling that I'm here before it gets hot? And I'm like puzzled over this thing as we're driving along, and he's giving his narration, and it's sort of like, okay, he says that I'm here at the perfect time before it gets hot, and it's 100 degrees. To me, that's hot. All about perception. All about perception. So anyway, let us know in the comments below how your Serenity Sunday was. What did you get to do to kick back and relax? I got to do my fun activity today, which was watch a movie. It wasn't in my plans. It's just like, I think I'll watch a movie today. So today's been very much sort of like, what do I feel like doing? Do this. I've even done a little bit of genealogy research today too. So managed to get, it was just a little quick hunt, and then I realized there was something wrong in my tree. I was going, this is not adding up. And so I now have this thing as to why is this not adding up? And then I realized that there were 2 people with the same names, the same wife name, the same oldest son. So there's a father, a mother, and an oldest son. All 3 have the same names on the census as another couple in another state. So I've got two census reports, each in different states, like total far apart. One's in the south, one's in the north. Same year, same first name for the father, same first name and last name on the father, same first name for the wife, same first name for the kid. And they were all born around the same time. But the weird thing is that the father is listed in the census as being born in the same state as the one that's in the north. So I'm trying to figure out what the heck. And then I think back to my client where I mistakenly grabbed the wrong obituary. And I did go back and correct it all when I realized what the mistake was, because there was 2 boys that were born in the same state, in the same county, about a few weeks or a few months apart. I can't remember which. And their brothers both had the same first name. The only way I could tell the difference was by looking at their father's name. Because the father's names were different, but the mothers both had the same first name. And their boys had the same first name and middle name and last name. It's interesting when you find these things in genealogy. And so I've got these 2 families. One was in Alabama. One's in Ohio or Indiana? Ohio, Indiana, Ohio. Both have the same, the husband's the same, both have the same names and last names, born around the same time, in the same area, and then they both married a woman with the same first name, and the both oldest son is the same name. So I'm sort of like, is it possible? But then the birthplaces of the son is different in both of them, because I thought, well, is it possible? And the birthplace of the wife is different as well. But the wife has the same last name too. So I'm sort of like, this is the weirdest thing. And I'm like, is it possible that maybe they filled because in those days they were going around knocking on the doors. It wasn't a piece of paper that you folded, and they actually had people knocking on the doors. Is it possible that they got entered into the census in one area, and then between that and when it was done in the other area, they happened to move locations or something? But then I found the marriage records, and the marriage record, this is the weirdest thing, they are a month apart. One's November, one's December. And both issued in the same state to the people with the same names. And I'm like, this is the weirdest thing ever. But the wives had different birth areas. One was born in Washington, D.C., one was born in Indiana. I'm like, this is like, my brain's going, oh, this is going to take some research in the tree to figure out which one actually belongs in the tree. So I'm going to be taking these 3 people, and I'm going to be doing an in-depth and finding every single piece of information I can possibly find on these 3 people, and then figure out which information belongs to which couple. Are they actually different couples? Are they the same couples? What the heck is going on? And sort it out. So this is what I love. But today it's all about relaxation, and I know that genealogy helps me relax and all of that, but it's sort of like, that's going to take some time. and that's going to be almost an all-day project to do that, at least to get it started and to get the forms ready so I can do side-by-side comparisons. So I have to find the ink for my printer so I can print off some more forms. Yes, I'm definitely going to have to do that. Find some ink for my printer so I can fill off the forms so I can start filling out the information and do side-by-side comparisons to see is this different? And this is where I need the workspace to spread out, and I really wish I had my dining table, because my dining table is like 7 foot long by 4 foot wide or something like that. It's huge, and then it's got two 2-foot leaves that go into it, so I can seat around 12 people around the dining table, and it's just an oak table. And this is where I would love to have that, so I could spread everything out and have this half of the table is this family, this half of the table is this family, and then I can start matching things up. And this is where colored pens come in handy, because one family will be this color, the other family will be this color, and so we don't get confused and all of that sort of stuff. So this is where I'd love to have the space to spread out, or have a wall of whiteboard where I can write up the information on one half, and I can stand back and have a look at it, which would work even better than the table. But with a table, I can easily just pick up a piece of paper and put them together, compare them, put them back apart again. But then, yeah, on the whiteboard, I could do the family tree. I could do the family tree on the whiteboard and do it up that way. So, and then one family went on and had a second son, and there's no record of a second son with the other family. So that's all part of this mystery, and it's okay. It's all like, yeah, I got something I can sink my teeth into right now with genealogy. So I'm super excited, and I'm like itching to get started, and I need to be able to spread out. But this is the one fallback of Sprockles. I have no desk place. I have no whiteboard space. Might have to uncover my mirror and get in with the post-its there and do the color coding with the post-its and put the information in that way. But so now I have a really cool thing to sink my teeth into with the genealogy and figure it out. And of course, there's nobody around that I can ask about the family, because anybody who knows about that part of the family are all gone. So it's really going to be looking in records and doing deep searches and digging up every piece of information I can on these people. And these are early 1900s through to 1940 on the census records. And it was a 1940 census record where I went, hang on. They're in Alabama and they're in Ohio. You never know what you're going to find. This is where a lot of people make mistakes with genealogy, is that especially if it comes up in the hints and ancestry, if they're in ancestry and it comes up with the hints, or even some of the other programs that have their little equivalent of a green leaf, where people go, oh yes, there they are. Oh, they went to Alabama. I didn't know they went to Alabama. And so they accept all that information, and then of course the system goes, oh, you've accepted the Alabama information, so we'll give you more on the Alabama family. And they may never realize that that was a huge mistake, and they should have been looking at the Ohio family, for example. So this is where people can make mistakes. They find the information, go, oh yes, that's it, that's all got the same names and everything else. And so like, yeah, no, they may have the same names, but it's interesting that it's the same, that the two husbands are exactly the same. The wives with their maiden name, first name, maiden name, the same. Married in different areas, a month apart, to the same guy. Both had sons with the same first name. So it's sort of like, and one's in Alabama and one's in Ohio. So this is going to be a very interesting one to untangle. But anyway, enough of that for me. I got to go take a puppy for a walk. Oh, she's including with something out the window right now. Anyway, have a super fantastic, sparkling rest of your Serenity Sunday. Let us know in the comments below what you got up to today that helped you go, did you go for a Sunday drive? Did you go for a run along the beach? Did you go for a picnic? Did you go for a trek, for a hike? Did you just laze about and read? Did you go outside and enjoy the fresh air in the backyard or something like that? Did you go and down to the river or something? Maybe you went fishing. You know, what did you get up to today to just be able to go, have a super fantastic, sparkling evening. We will see you back here tomorrow morning for Magic Monday. Hei konera.